Hello, everybody. I'm Dorothy Morgan. I'm a professional astrologer. You can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the week of October 21st and what is going on throughout the week. We do have a powerful week in front of us as we're moving toward the new moon, which is on Sunday, the 27th. So we start this week with a Venus-Neptune trine, and that has everything to do with getting in alignment with who we love or what we love, our creative endeavors, digging into spirituality, or really getting into that spiritual place of trust and faith and hope in the dynamic of a relationship. There's a lot more here. There's a lot more to talk about with this week, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll get notified when I put new videos up. And it's very important, if you really do like this, to like it, comment, and share. It just helps me stay in the stream of things as far as this social media stuff goes, okay? I know, I'm not old-fashioned. I understand. Sometimes I feel old-fashioned. There's so much going on these days. I have this new computer now, right? So I'm having to still edit video from here on my old laptop because I haven't figured out the software I want to use for the new laptop. And so I've created extra steps for myself until I get in alignment with the new technology. And this is what life really is all about, and how we move through life is there's always something that comes up to challenge us, right? Whether it's a square or a conjunction, it doesn't matter. The astrology aspects some of them do create stress and tension, but it's just so we're able to grow, because not everything just falls into place all the time. Yes, we want it to. If you're an Abraham follower, you know that that's the truth in that mindset, and I understand it. But we're humans, and we need a little bit of tension, stress, or just something that feels like we really need to do something and move forward. So an example, again, new laptop right here. Got all my notes on it, and it's like fantastic, but there is just opportunities for me to grow and learn new things, which do create moments of tension and stress. But then I realize that that's what's happening. I drop my shoulders, I take a few deep breaths, and I get back into myself, and I start moving the energy once again. I want you to remember that throughout the week, as well as myself. It's a reminder for me as well as you. So we start Monday, as I mentioned in the intro, with Venus trine Neptune. It is a nice trine. Some people will want to focus on their relationships. Venus in Scorpio is very intense when it comes to relationships. We really want to dive deep into what is truly behind the relationships we're in. Making that trine aspect to Neptune, it also says, let's clear away the fog a little bit and see what the truth is, okay? Now, Monday, let me look at my notes. Monday, Tuesday, and part of Wednesday, we also have the moon in the sign of Leo. This creates and asks us to step up where we're passionate. So whether it's passion in a relationship or what you're creatively interested in. Because again, that Venus-Neptune trine also inspires our creativity. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have a lot of opportunities for creativity to flow. Adding to a little bit of the information about Monday, Tuesday, and into half of Wednesday, the sun is also at the final degrees of Libra, which is relationships, harmony, balance, whether it's in relationships, and a lot of people are not, so I understand that. But we're seeking and we're looking for that harmony and balance. When any planet is at the final degree or two of a zodiac sign, there is a sense of urgency that comes to the surface. So we may be feeling a lack of harmony in those few days, and we're looking for that harmony. We're looking to seek balance in whatever is going on in your life. That is, again, the potential of what goes on Monday, Tuesday, and half of Wednesday. So with the sun moving into the sign of Scorpio at 1:20 on Wednesday, and a few hours later, the moon enters the sign of Virgo for the next 2 days. The moon's moving pretty fast right now. So what do we have with this? When I see the sun in Scorpio, first off, Northern Hemisphere, this is the fall. We're the second zodiac sign in the fall. We're really into it now here in the Northern Hemisphere, especially here at this latitude in New England. All the leaves are hitting the ground, and they're creating the fertilizer. They're decaying and creating the fertilizer for next year, for the spring. So this is that period of transformation and change for us here in the Northern Hemisphere for the most part. So what are you going through? What transformation do you go through in the end of October into November? Wherever that Scorpio is in your chart, you know where that transformation is for you. Now, the reason I mentioned the moon in Virgo is when I see the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Virgo, or these two energies in a natal chart or a transit chart, very, very strong, that typically reminds me of somebody who is of service to others and they're very much focused in health and healing and wellness. So over the next couple of days, while the sun is just barely in Scorpio, and the moon is in the sign of Virgo, so that's half of Wednesday into Thursday the 24th, and almost all of the 25th, Friday the 25th. These are opportunities, if you're inclined, to focus on your health, focus on a healthy regime, changing a pattern, getting into, if you're somebody who likes to, take the herbal remedies before cold and flu season begins. We're kind of on the verge of that. Now's the time to begin that. Now's the time to figure out what that looks like for you. All right. Now, if health and wellness is not even an interest for you because everything's cool or you don't care, whatever it is for you is fine. We can also use this just to focus on details, the details of what we need to do over these next couple of days, because we're in the very last lunar phase of the moon. She's in actually the third quarter, almost balsamic right now until Friday. So this is when we're finalizing things and ending things and finishing up this month's pattern, okay? That started back with the new moon in Libra. So let's move on to Friday and half of Friday and into Saturday and Sunday, which is the new moon. All right, so Friday afternoon, 4:20, the moon enters the sign of Libra. So like in the beginning of the week, now that the moon is in Libra, it is in its waning phase. So we're able to address any issues around balance and harmony in our life. What is sometimes, I keep saying that, but just think about it. And I know some people roll their eyes about that one too. Life gets out of balance. And so when the moon is in Libra, we are made very much aware of it. Out of balance. It's like I'm working too much and I don't have time for family, or family things are really heavy on your plate right now. So you don't have time for, fun or relaxing. So when the moon is in Libra, and again, it starts at Friday afternoon and goes all the way to Sunday afternoon, because the new moon is late in the day on Sunday. We have this opportunity, so 2 days, almost 24 hours, a little over 24 hours, where the moon in Libra is asking us still to emotionally connect to what is out of balance. So we're able to release some of these things, because while new moons are about setting goals, the period before that is that balsamic period, third quarter and balsamic period, where we are realizing what we have too much of, or if something is bothering us, we're letting that energy go. So make sure you do a lot of releasing if you feel it, things coming up. Really, I like to imagine, I'm a good visual person, so I like to imagine if I've thought of something or if something's really bothering me. If you guys remember years ago, it wasn't that long ago, I used to have this massive whiteboard right here behind me. And this is my living room, and I decided that was just too trashy for my living room. So I took it down. But I think about when I write stuff on a whiteboard, and then when I'm done with it, I wipe it off. So easy to do. Imagine what you're thinking about, whatever it maybe is troublesome for you, or a negative thought that keeps coming up. And every time you see it, pretend it's on a whiteboard and then just wipe it off. And even if it keeps reappearing, keep wiping it off. We have to get out of, it's not easy, not have to, but it's not easy to get out of the habit of rethinking something that is troublesome or bothersome. All right. So we have to train our brain to not think of the things that we don't want to think about. And because we need to let them go. All right. I mean, if you have to work something out, work it out. But once you've worked it out, let it go. And this time period is beautiful for that, especially when the moon enters Scorpio. And that's at 4:30 on Sunday. And so it's balsamic all the way until the new moon at 11:39 p.m. And this is all East Coast time. So especially Sunday evening into Sunday night, great opportunities to do a lot of releasing energy, sort of like what you do on the full moon if you do ritual, okay? Really awesome time to do that. Now, before I even get to the new moon, because this is all important information. I know I'm going long on this one. The moon, no, I'm going long on this one and I said the wrong word. Mars in Libra squares Saturn in Capricorn. Now, this, we've been feeling it all week long, but it peaks Sunday at 10:30 in the morning, East Coast time. So all week long, these two malefic planets have been coming to each other in a square. Mars is in Libra. So once again, we are looking at what is going on in our relationships. Mars wants to take action as an individual, but in the sign of Libra, he needs to do it. He needs to act through what another person needs, through relationship. So it's an uncomfortable place for Mars to be. Squaring Saturn in Capricorn, its own sign, Saturn in Capricorn. But this square creates tension. Tension, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that if something comes up in regards to a steady relationship, a solid relationship, or one you thought was solid, a business partnership, or even a work relationship, if something comes up with that, then address it. This has been going on all week, all right? Because these aspects come together and they take time to come together. Now, let's get to the new moon. But before that, you can read this forecast on my website, nhastrologer.com. Please go there and read that forecast and, join my email list. And if you like what you see, you have an opportunity to come to Patreon and give a little support there if you like, for some extra content only for Patreon patrons, okay? Let's get to the new moon in Scorpio, 4 degrees of Scorpio. It happens at 11:39 p.m. on the East Coast. And even just a few minutes later, the new moon will be in an opposition to Uranus. What does all this mean? What kind of goals and what kind of things do we focus on with this new moon? Here are some of the goals and some of the things relating to Scorpio that you can set new intentions and set goals relating to. So we have self-mastery. We have things like paying down debt. Scorpio has everything to do with shared resources, the debt we owe, paying taxes, our love lives, being intimate with others, and how well we face change and transform, all right? Those are the things, some of the things that we can really focus on with the new moon in the sign of Scorpio. Now, I have some examples in the written forecast on my website. Now, with this new moon in an opposition to Uranus, this means as we set these new moon goals, we can tap into things that are new and fresh and different and on the cutting edge. Spend some time in meditation before this. And you may need to wait until Monday to do these new moon rituals or these new moon things because it's so late at night if you're on the East Coast, right? And we always have a few days on after the new moon to really set our intentions because it's the dark of the moon. It's the black moon. You can't see anything in this new moon phase, right? We can't see the moon. It takes 38, 48 hours. It varies a little bit from month to month before we can start to see that beautiful little sliver of a moon, new moon, as the sun is setting in the west, okay? So take the next day or two after this new moon to set those intentions about transformation, about change, about bringing your debt down, about that intimate relationship that's important to you. where it is that you want to change. What is it that you want to change? These are all things that we can do with this new moon. And again, with that opposite Uranus, he's the great awakener. You may even want to throw in a new moon goal based on that. You really want to feel a sense of freedom. Find a way to break out of old habits and break out of old patterns. This is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity with this new moon to really set goals so you can grow. We have a lot of tough aspects this year coming, and we're actually leading into them. Everybody's making a big deal out of January 10 because of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, and it is a big deal with an eclipse and all of the things that go along with it. But we are being led towards it. So we're already preparing for what it is that we need to do once we get to that January point. So we don't have to keep kicking the bucket down, kicking the can down the road. We have opportunities at this current moment to create the change that we're looking for. And this is something that we can do on a very deep level with this new moon in the sign of Scorpio. Thank you very much for watching. Blessings. Namaste.